All right, welcome everybody to our Team Empower call. We're so glad that you are here. Welcome to Lindsay. This is her first Team Empower call. We're excited to have her here.
Hi.
Welcome.
Get my jungle kids in the house, but I don't know if that's working out.
We want you right when you can't be there, I'm sure.
Exactly. Oh well, it's all right.
So anyway, we're glad that you guys are here. We have a few announcements as far as our team is concerned. Really quickly, before we get to those, I just wanted to share some of the Beachbody announcements. Let's see, I'm looking right now. So don't forget the Shanti week is beginning June 12th. So that will be next week. He'll have a week of new workouts on Beachbody on Demand every day. Let's see. Oh, and we get a sneak peek of the Shift Shop on June 19th. So definitely look into that. That's supposed to be like a really super awesome program. Allie and I worked out with him in the Dominican, and he is cool. He's a really great guy. So, and then also don't forget, Summit is coming up here shortly. So make sure that you've registered for your track. We're on, is it Blue? Al?
No, it's like D, I think. Isn't it D?
Ballroom D. So anyway, if you haven't registered yet, let us know and we'll let you know where we're going to be. Okay, Al, go ahead. You can share our team announcements.
Okay, first, I'm just really excited for Summit. I cannot wait. It's going to be awesome. Jillian just texted me and said that her husband just accepted a new job, so they just moved, and just with the group that he's moving into, the way that they have vacation time and everything set up, she's not going to be able to go to Summit. So
no.
I know. She's really bummed. She was really excited to, well, you guys know. She was there last year, and it was so fun. So she's really bummed, but there's an extra spot in the house and everything. So if you don't have a ticket and you want to go, of course we want you there. So I think all of us need a little coaching accountability, like us included, this summer. And I think everyone's kind of in a spot where they're kind of feeling that fire again towards coaching, and we have new coaches on board, and so it's a great time to get some accountability going. So I don't know if you remember last summer we did, what did we call it? I think we called it the Summer Showdown or something like that. This year we're doing what we're calling the Summer Sizzle, and we're still going to base it on the BAT, the Business Activity Tracker. And if you're just barely going through your training now, that is in the training, and you can reach out to your upline if you're not sure what it is. There's a copy of the BAT in the files section on Team Empower. And all it is it's a form that helps you track your vital coaching behaviors. And so if you can submit your BAT to your upline weeks 1 through 3, so starting next week, so for 3 weeks in a row, you submit your BAT to your upline, then we'll give you a workout tank that we're excited about. And then if you can submit your BAT for week 4 through 7, okay, so you have to continue on, then you'll get a $25 gift card to Target. But that means you have to successfully submit 7 weeks worth of BATs. Does that make sense?
Oh, I'm in. I'm doing it.
I knew it. I knew you did. So I'm excited about that. And we want you not just to submit it to your upline, but we want you to submit it into the team. You know, I want more posting going on in there by us. And yeah, so do you guys feel okay about that? Lindsay, do you know what the BAT is yet?
Not yet, but I'm sure I'll find out in the next couple of days.
Well, you might want to explain it, because I saw Kelly commented on it. We talked briefly about it when you first signed up, but then there was a period of time where we just didn't talk about it. So could you just explain it real quick?
Sure. So Lacey, did we put the BAT video in the modules?
Yes, we talked about it in the modules. I don't know if we posted a copy of it, but we posted about how to get to it.
Right. I remember in the first training, we had a whole video on the BAT. Did we include that in the module training? Okay, sweet. So it's in there. So what the BAT is, again, it stands for Business Activity Tracker. And everything that we do as coaches and that we coach you to do to be successful is what's called the 4 vital behaviors. And I'm a strong believer that if you follow, not try to reinvent the wheel, but follow the training, you're going to be successful. And just like your workout journey, it's all about consistency. Even if you start small in the beginning, consistent small efforts yield great results over time. But it's hard to know where you've been going if you don't know where you've been. And so we want to make sure you're tracking your business, because it's so easy to be on Facebook and think you're working, because so much of what we do with coaching is on Facebook. And half the time you're not working. You're just like scrolling, you know. So we want to make sure you're actually tracking your business. Hey, Capri. And that's all done with the BAT. So let me just give you a quick example. So it's a 7-day tracking sheet. And for each category, there's several categories for each day, maybe 8.
I'll share my screen and I can show them where it's at.
Oh yeah, do that. That's a great idea.
Hold on. They've changed my setup. Oh, share screen. Okay. Here we go. Okay, you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, here we are, Team Empower. This is just our Facebook page. What you'll do is you go over here to Files.
Can you see my face?
Nope, I can't. And you're going to scroll down to the back Team Empower PDF. Here's the BAT. So basically what it is you'll have this, you'll print it out, and then you'll set a goal right here for, oh, I guess I get it right on here. That's fancy. Okay, so being a product, you'll write your goal, how many times you've had Shakeology, or what your goal is for Shakeology, and how many times you do it. Here's where you write your goal for your personal development, for your reconnects, for your invites. So you'll set your own personal goals right here in this column, and then you'll track how you're doing in that particular activity every day of the week. And then you can take a picture of it and post it to Team Empower.
Where the pups coming? Got it.
Let's just I'll go through these just really quick for our newer coaches. This is all in the training, and so don't be overwhelmed by it all, but just as a quick breakdown right here. So product of the product, that means you're working out every day and drinking Shakeology. Personal development, 10 minutes of listening or reading to something that's making you smarter. Reconnecting, that just means to start 2 new conversations every day. Not about Beachbody. Like you're not cold inviting people, you're not shoving people in groups. You're just starting a friendly conversation to do exactly what's bolded right there. Reconnect with them. Okay. That's important. That reconnecting step is important. And there's a whole training on that. And then inviting to your next challenge group. I feel like that one's a little tough to be a column, because we want to make sure your invites, are like a natural extension of the conversation. So we don't want you to feel pressured to get an invite checked off in that box if it's not just naturally ready for that part of the conversation. Does that make sense? Like, I'd rather you have 0 invites for that day instead of like just blanket cold inviting lots of people. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. For sure.
Yes.
Yes.
And then social media, posting 2 to 3 times per day. This is hard for people who are not used to posting on social media. You will pick this up eventually. But your social media is your storefront. It's important that people get to know you. You use your personal profile page to attract people to you. And so that's why it's important to post those 2 to 3 times a day. Try to always add value, and you want to always be kind of breadcrumbing your story. A lot of times we think we can post our story just one time and we think everyone in our feed has seen it. But there's your life is a conglomeration of a lot of little stories. You know, you can always be breadcrumbing different parts of your story on social media. Anything that opens kind of a window to your life is great. And then adding to your list, everyone should have a master list. This does not mean you're going to invite everyone on your list, but do like a big brain dump and get everyone you know on a page, and then track your people. Track who you talk to, who you've invited, because when you do that, when you track, you're going to be able to follow up with people. And most of the time, my challenge pack sales come from a follow-up after they've initially said no. Okay, so that's why it's important to track your people and have a list. And then we want to make sure that we had a section for unplugging, because it's so easy to get sucked into coaching and burn out really easily. And so we want to make sure you're unplugging, disconnecting from your phone, being present with your husband, okay, and your kids. So make sure you're doing that too. So, okay, so if you can submit this batch to your upline and then post it to the page as well. If you are in Lacey's downline or my downline, however it works, weeks 1 through 3, you get a workout tank, and then 4 through 7 is a gift card to Target or anywhere. You have $25, a gift card somewhere.
No, I don't know what downlines and uplines are.
Why not?
Sorry.
For like 3 days.
I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Basically what it is so you signed up under me,
Mhm.
upline. So, and then if somebody signs up under you, like when someone signs up to be a coach under you, then they will be your downline.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Got it.
Okay. That's a good question though. I like it. Awesome. Okay, so does anybody have any other questions about our summer sizzle? We're good. Pretty
I'm
self-explanatory.
excited about that.
Okay, awesome. Game on. Okay, I don't know. So tonight we wanted to talk about something that we've kind of heard from a lot of you guys, and I know it's also something that is super difficult, but it pays huge dividends, and that is learning how to be and to share vulnerably. I know it's something that can like feel super uncomfortable and feel a little daunting. But as I've been thinking about it, I've walked a couple of you kind of through it a little bit. And it kind of opened my eyes too, to realize that a lot of times when we hear the word vulnerable, we think like a big, dark, scary secret, or like, you know, those dark corners of our lives that we don't want anybody to know about. When in reality, being vulnerable just means sharing like your passion and sharing your heart. So how do we dig down and how do we get to that part? How do we get there? So if you guys have a pen and a paper, I want you to go ahead and pull it out. And I want you to start to brainstorm. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to brainstorm about, you know, we all kind of world saying, I want to, that's my goal, is to help. So my first question is who is it that you want to help? Who is she? Who is this person? And get as specific as you can. What does she like? What makes her happy? What does she want to be different in her life? What makes her sad? What makes her laugh? What is she struggling with? Who is this person that you want to help? Who is she and how does she feel? So I'm going to give you guys just a few minutes to kind of brainstorm about who this person is.
And just while you're guys writing, it's important. I think in the beginning we think, well, I just want to help everybody. Like, it's important that you don't just say you want to help everybody, because if you're advertising to everybody, you're advertising to nobody. Like, you're not going to really connect intimately with anybody if you're trying to reach everybody. So when Lacey says get specific, she means it, you know, so you want to make sure that you are writing and posting to a specific person. And most of the time, you guys, the person we come up with is the person that we were before we started our journey, right? That person that we've come a long way, and we look back, we want to help her. That person is who we were. So don't just think you want to help everybody. While that's like an amazing cause and everything, you want to really zone in and focus on a particular person. It's called an avatar, is what this person is that you're coming up with.
Okay. So I want to ask you guys, who's this person? Let's start with Stacy. Who is, oh wait, hold on. I'm gonna unmute you. Okay, go ahead. Who is your person?
Okay, so I didn't get very far, but I did write down a few things. So my person used to be active, so they had a history with like sports or some sort of activity. She's a mom. She has a career other than outside of the home, and she definitely has this drive to be able to feel strong again, and she used to feel confident, and she wants to feel that again.
Love that. That's perfect. I want you to keep brainstorming about, how do I word it? What took her from what she used to be to what she is now?
Right.
Keep brainstorming there. We'll come back to that. Okay, Lindsay, who is your girl?
So I kind of talked about it, I guess, in the group the other day. But she's essentially like who I was, I guess, I don't know, not 5 years ago, 4 years ago, right after I had my first kiddo. And, I kind of lost sight of, I don't know, my whole self beforehand. So she is likely a mom, because I think we all want to work with moms, who has had her kiddos, maybe had a career beforehand that she had to kind of make some adjustments with, I guess, after she had her babies. And she's just trying to find the control again that she wants. And so she's a person that needs to regain, I don't know, like I said, control over that piece that she can control and be that leader of her family, but doesn't really know how. And so, finding a space where she can work fitness in and still keep her kiddos with her, likely at home, and, provide a really cool or really good, like, plant-based diet, or at least close to it, something clean, and have it be easy for her to do. I don't know. I'm a little bit shady. Like, I know who she is. It's just hard to put it into words.
Totally. I love that. What I'm going to encourage you to do is to take the next few days and write down specifics about her. Because I've spent like a lot of years just saying, like, I'm helping me, like I'm helping who I was. But it's kind of hard to like remember to distinguish from like who you are from who you were, because you've just been with yourself all the whole way, like but trying to remember those like specific feelings is a hard thing to do. So I want you to keep brainstorming, because you're totally on the right track, but really flesh it out more so you can like see her, you can feel her, you can write down like specifically focusing in on how she feels. I think you're really aware of the struggles that she has, but focus in on like how she's feeling, what makes her feel happy, what makes her feel sad, what makes her feel out of control, what makes her feel like she wants to change, what makes her feel successful. Focusing on those feelings will really help guide your posts with more vulnerability, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. Yes, absolutely.
That's where I want you to focus, and then we'll come back to that a little bit more. But
okay, you bet.
Okay, Kelly.
I have someone, she's a single mom of 4 boys, so I can totally relate to her. She has a full-time job, and I help with staying consistent. Helping her stay consistent will also help me stay consistent with many things. So that's what I'm trying to do, is to help her stay consistent with her workouts and things.
Perfect. I love that. I love that you're focusing on the results that she can get. A lot of that's what draws people in. They want to know what you're going to give them. They want to know how they're going to change in your group. They want to know results. And so that's a super important piece.
She has been watching me. I've done boot camp for the last 6 weeks.
Awesome.
So she has seen all my posts, and so she has started to work out a little bit more and just to be able to follow me. So that has helped her.
Perfect.
She's seen you be super vulnerable the past 6 weeks, like more than I've ever seen you on your timeline, which is awesome.
Yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays get the most action because but I'm doing it another week, so.
So have you realized that there's that many people like watching you?
No. Sometimes I wonder if I'm posting it too much on like those days, but it feels really good to be able to post and for people to not really comment like for my journey, but that are working in their own journey to like to help them the next step
Right.
just by watching me, push a car down the hill.
Right. So that's like the most important part of like your post is when people like respond with something personal back, like not just like congratulations, Kelly, good job. Like they're gonna share with you like why they decided to comment and like what made you connect, what made them connect with you. So that is why you share, because you can like reach out to people that way.
Yeah, I had the other day she sent me a Snapchat of her doing some sprints, and because sprints are kind of hard for me, but posting that I did them, and Clint, the trainer, he actually posted a video and she saw me running in the back. Even though I was in the back, I was still doing it, and she said that it just like that helped her. So
Awesome.
a little bit I was kind of embarrassed, but then again, after she had sent me that message, it made me feel really, really good.
That's awesome. You're doing awesome.
Thank you.
Well, and something that I like that you said is you kind of touched on like how rewarding it is, like how it feels good to be able to share those things, even though, you might feel a little embarrassed or it might be hard. Like ultimately it's kind of therapeutic to be able to share your heart and to be able to share your journey. So I like that you're experiencing that because it means that you're doing it well. So that's fantastic.
I think too that says a lot. Like that's so true, Kelly, that it freaks you out of your mind in the beginning to post stuff like that, to like really open up and share like a weakness or a part of you that you are really self-conscious about, and you're so scared to do it. Like, but then when just even if one person reaches out to you and lets you know that you inspired them or you made them feel like they could do it and you instilled a bit of hope, then it's not scary to share that part of you anymore, because you realize, first of all, that you're not alone, right? I think the reason we feel so scared is because we're like, no one else understands, right? We're scared to post something. We're the only ones going through what we're going through. But when we realize we're not alone, and that when we voice our insecurities, we're helping other people and instilling hope in them, oh my goodness, it just makes it, I mean, in the beginning, it just kind of takes the edge off, makes it so it's not so nerve-wracking. And then pretty soon it's going to be not only easy, but you're going to want to do those things. You're going to want to share those things that make you feel insecure, because it's good for you and you can feel that it's good and therapeutic for you. But you also feel like you're really making a difference. So that's awesome, Kelly.
A couple weeks ago, I did my first 5K, and actually this Saturday I'm doing the Sunburst. Stacy's doing the marathon. I'm only doing the 5K walk, but I have somebody from one of my friends. She signed up, was like, if you can walk another 5K, you just did, then there's no reason that she couldn't. So that was really good. That
not only that, you got 2 other ladies from our group to join you.
Yes. So now that there's 3 of us from our group with Stacy, that we are meeting up and we're going together and, just going to walk it and encourage each other to go. I mean, our goal is to finish. I mean, I do have a little extra goal to beat my time from a couple weeks ago. But I mean, I will have the right shoes on. So I think I will do a lot better, and just, I mean, everybody's nervous, but we're just going to encourage and finish.
Have fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So great.
Really awesome. All right. Well, I'm just going to follow up really quick to the questions. I know that you didn't have like any time really, but Stacy, did you think about what took her from one spot to the next?
So I did write down a few more things, and I was kind of vague because I feel like I could reach multiple points of somebody's, I guess, tragedy. Like, I put that she went through a tough battle with her health whether that be addiction. I shouldn't even put health, but in her life, I guess, whether that be addiction or divorce or like a tragic death in her family. So I think that those points, like I could really connect with someone.
Bring
And
that here and I'll put it on.
I put also that she may have lost her sphere of influence during like a certain time of her life, whether that have been like marriage or having kids or something. So she's looking to like regain those people that she can lean on and trust. And just like Kelly said, that she needs definite consistency. She knows where she's lacking, and she needs the guidance. So basically, she's just looking for support.
That's awesome.
But she doesn't know how to find it.
Totally. That's fantastic. Well, and the thing that I love is how you're saying I can reach multiple points. And you're right. It's not necessarily, I mean, and it might be through, them having experienced addiction or a death or a divorce. Like it might be through the specific event that you connect, but 9 times out of 10, I would guess it will be through the feeling that was created by that event. So whether she experienced the exact same event as you or not, those feelings are what's going to connect you. And
yeah, that's a good point.
And when you are able to share those, that's what creates like that power and that fire in you. So I love that. That's awesome. Keep going with that. And the more specific you can get, the more drive you'll have behind you. So thank you for sharing that, Stacey.
Yep.
Lindsay, how about you? Did you have a chance to think about it for a minute about how she feels?
I think so. I think she feels kind of lost, I guess. Like not really knowing who she is anymore, and she needs to refine her new normal.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you have to make adjustments for sure. And obviously I'm very thick, like into the world of motherhood, especially moms with young kids. And I think kind of refining herself and figuring out who that new person is for sure.
Perfect. I love that. So now I'm going to ask you guys, and I've already kind of gone through this a little bit with Lindsay, so you know where I'm going already, but the next question as you're, defining this person that you want to help is why? Why do you want to help her? There's so many people out there to help. Why is it that it's this person that you want to help? What is it that drives you and empowers you and pushes you to help this person? Why? Stacey, why is it this person for you? Either.
So I know for me, like when I look over my avatar and everything I wrote down, and as I was talking to Kelly, I feel like the reason I do what I do all boils down to one word, and that's hope. Like I think when I first joined my group is because I felt hopeless. Like I feel like I didn't know what to do next. I was like almost desperate for a change, didn't know what to do or how to do it. And then after my group felt so empowered and just like filled with hope that I could make a change. And so now when I ponder coaching and the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing is because I don't want other women to feel hopeless like I did at one time, I want to because if you can like place hope in someone's heart, then they can grab a hold of it and do something with it. But to create your own hope is kind of hard, but it's easy to kind of glean hope off of other people and their experiences and their tragedies and triumphs. And and so I think that's my main reason why.
That's awesome. I love that you can give them enough that they have then the strength to continue forward. That's awesome. Lindsay, why is it that this is the person that you want to help?
I think I'm in the kind of a similar boat as Allie in that, like, I was her and I know how it feels, and it was horrible and miserable, and nobody should have to feel that way, just like what Allie said. And so, I haven't figured it out. I'm just better at like faking it maybe than most. But if I can offer, even one like second of, sort of light and excitement in the day, then, you know, that's why, you know, to try to move her out of that cloud.
Yes. Yes. Love it. Perfect. Kelly, how about you? Why is that the person that you want to help?
Because she's been like there for me, like following through, and like I can relate to many things that in her life that I have experienced myself. So being there, like the support, to have that support, because I know how it feels to have that one person that, I mean, I didn't know Stacy at all. I mean, at all. And she just reached out to me and made like a huge different impact. So I want to be able to make that impact onto her as Stacy did on for myself.
Awesome. Perfect. See, and the thing that I'm hearing all of you guys say, and the reason why we do what we do is because the reason why you want to help this person is because she was you. Because you know her, you understand her, you feel her, you know her ups, you know her downs, you know her sorrows, you know her heartaches, you know her joys. And so you have the opportunity to help her in a way that nobody else can. Not necessarily because you've been through the exact same experiences, but because you've had the exact same feeling. And that's those feelings is what connects us. That's like the connective tissue in this world is our feelings. And so that right there is how you can be vulnerable in your post. It's not about always sharing the big, hard, dark, secret, heavy things. Sometimes that's okay. I mean, sharing your trials, but being vulnerable is sharing that passion in you, that power, that excitement, that thing that fuels you forward, that you feel so intense about. But in order to use that momentum that's inside, you have to be able to share how you got there. And that means the ups, the downs, the goods, the bads, the everythings. So how do we do that? How do we craft posts with those feelings without just sitting down and like pouring out our hearts? And so the few tips that I would have for you, the first one would be to encourage you to ask yourself, what is the purpose of this post? As you sit down to craft it, what is your purpose? Is your purpose to make your girl laugh? Is your purpose to make her feel like she's not alone? Is your purpose to encourage her to not give up? Is your purpose to testify to her, to share what you know is true and right? What is your purpose for this person as you're thinking about her? Write your posts to her, not to everybody, not to every one of your followers, not to every one of your friends. Write your post to her and ask yourself, what is my purpose with this post? That will help you to be able to wrap your world around your purpose. Because something that Chalene Johnson once said that I totally loved was, she said, think about the one thing in your life that was the hardest, like your darkest, heaviest, most unpleasant moment, your biggest hurt. Think of that and you hold on to that. And then you think about the one thing that brings you the most joy, that you love, that you would do for free for the rest of your life, no matter what, because you love it so much. And if you can take both of those, she says, you will become the greatest at what you do when you can connect that moment of darkness with your purpose. And really your purpose is helping that person, helping that girl that you know. And so as you're writing your posts and you're asking what's this purpose, it will allow you to not just post a, like, here's my sweaty selfie, or here's my Shakeology, or here's to another great run or workout or whatever it is, that it's just so easy just to kind of like surface it, but still keep that content, keep that reason, keep the purpose that you were posting for, whether it's to encourage her to work out or to let her know she's not alone. And then wrap one of your feelings around it, one of your experiences, one of your realities. For example, if you got done with your workout and you took a picture, you could just say, just finished my workout. Or you could say, today as I was working out, I glanced over and my little girl had soup cans in her hands and she was, exercising with me. How thankful I am to know that little eyes are watching me, and so that speaks to a heart. It's that feeling, it's that connective tissue. And that's taking what your fire and your passion to help her, wrapped around with your experience, all put together is what will then speak to her and allow you to be vulnerable and her to learn to trust you. So as we connect our passion with our purpose, it allows you to mold your experience around the purpose that you want to share. And that can be done mostly, like Allie was talking about, with breadcrumbing. So that's kind of like what I wanted to talk about tonight, and about just being vulnerable isn't just telling the hard things. It's sharing your heart and your passion, sharing where you've been, how you've gotten there, and the journey that you've taken along the way. And it's easy to forget that journey. It's easy to forget those feelings. It's easy to forget the ups and the downs of what life looked like and felt like then, because you're living life now. It's kind of like, losing weight slowly. And if somebody saw you every day, they probably wouldn't notice a huge difference. But if you didn't see them for 3 weeks, they'd be like, whoa, like notice the big difference. We forget our stories because it's so slow in coming. So write down who she is, figure out who she is, and talk to her from your heart, because that's how you can really be vulnerable in sharing your purpose, and that's how you change lives. So Al, did you have something to say?
Yes. One of my favorite quotes when it comes to coaching is that if you want to be an expert at something, you have to be willing to suck at it first. And that's so true. And it's so true with like every aspect of coaching, but specifically posting on social media. If you want to, like, your social media profile page to be a place where you're attracting people and people want to come see what you have to say, you have to be an expert at that. And in order to figure out how to be an expert, you have to do your personal development, first of all, and you have to be willing to suck at first. All of us, like when I look at my time hop and see some things that pop up, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I posted that, or I can't believe I said it like that, or I was such a salesman, or like whatever. You're going to have embarrassing posts when you look back on and you're like, oh my gosh, that was horrible. But that's how you learn. Like, you have to be willing to fail and suck at first. You have got to be consistent. That's how you're going to learn. Like, if you have a crappy post, who cares? Like, no one's going to remember, right? Like, if it's a crappy post, for sure, no one's going to remember. Like, they're just going to keep scrolling. People only remember the good stuff. Just 1 second. Okay. And the last thing is, another phrase I love is, don't wait to be ready to be ready. Like, I think as coaches, we're so nervous in the beginning. We feel like we have to have all of our ducks in a row before we start anything. And then we wait and wait and wait, and we never do, because we're waiting for like the perfect moment, but it's never going to be the perfect moment. So don't wait to be ready. Don't like spend hours crafting the perfect post. Like, just do it. Like, you just have to jump in and do it, and be consistent with your efforts, and be willing to suck at first, and be forgiving of yourself, and laugh at yourself. And you are going to, that's how you're going to learn the quickest, is through your own experience. And like, look at the people you're drawn to. There has got to be some social media accounts that you're just drawn to, and go like look at them, look at their content, and see what it is that they're posting about, what words they're using, what experiences are they telling you about, and learn from what they're doing. And it's okay if there's a post from anyone on our team and you want to make that post your own, like, that's okay to be like using each other's content. I'm sure I did that at first. I know Stacy did that at first. Like, when you're first learning, that's okay to do. So I'm pretty passionate about failing. So just accept yourself as a failure, because that really means that you're open to becoming more than what you are, if that makes sense. So that's all.
I love it. Awesome. So that's what we had to share with you guys tonight. Do you have any questions, thoughts, ideas, anything you want to add to what we've been talking about?
No.
No. Good. Okay. So for those of you, so for Stacy and Kelly and Lindsay and Aaron, I know you're on the phone. I don't know if you can actually hear us. I want you guys to go ahead and continue to sketch out your avatar. Continue to, flesh out who she is, what her feelings, her experiences, her realities, her hopes, her dreams, and then share that with us in Team Empowered. And then for those of you who are listening to the recording, I want you to do the same because it is super helpful for all of us to read who your person is. And it's also helpful for you to I guess I should speak for me, to have my feet to the fire, to know I need to sit down and do it. And it's not just like, oh, I'll get to it, or let it roll around in the back of my mind and then it just doesn't happen. And anyway, this is so important. I want you to do it. I want you to post in the team, share with us who your girl is and why. So I'm looking forward to reading your guys' posts. So anyway, thanks for being here tonight. And it was so fun to see you guys. I'm looking forward to next Thursday, when we get to chat again before Allie and I go and do our event and maybe. So anyway, have a good night, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.